This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Timbuk2 Vapor Sling Crossbody bag, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So starting with the exterior here, it's pretty sleek, I think, and it's actually crafted from recycled nylon and polyester, so good to see some sustainability used in the construction. And every single zipper on this thing, there are, I want to say 5 different zippers on this thing, are YKK number 5. And it seems odd that they'd all use the same zipper because, you know, there's obviously like these smaller front pockets here, and then we have a main compartment here, but they all feel adequate to me and do their job well. The buckle on the back here for the strap is a Duraflex Stealth Warrior buckle. We're pretty familiar with these buckles from testing different packs and slings. No issues to report here, as we have never really had an issue with these Stealth Warrior buckles. Just big, and I mean, it's a little bit big and beefy if you're not used to that kind of thing, and it is quite loud, as I'm sure you've heard, but it doesn't come undone, and that's the most important thing. On the front here, we do have the Timbuk2 logo. It's pretty minimal. It's obviously white, so it looks a bit contrasty with the main black pack material, but it's pretty nice looking, I think. And it also is a loop, as you can see here. So I actually attached a carabiner on here a few times, and it's a good way to hang this up if you don't want to hang it by the strap on the back. But it is important to note that it'll be upside down if you hang it from this. And it's also a way if you want to attach something to the front, you can do that. So moving to the back side and the harness system here, we went over that buckle already, but we have a pretty minimalistic strap here as well. There's no padding or aeration or anything like that. It's just a pretty basic strap. If you were to fill this up really heavy, you would start to feel it digging into your shoulder, but you can't really fit that much heavy stuff in this sling. I know that sounds weird because this is a pretty big sling, but it's more tailored to flatter items, so it's hard to fit a ton of stuff in here that'll weigh it down. Something that I think is an important inclusion is this little, I call it a hip hugger, but it's never really on your hip on this bag, so that doesn't really make sense, but it's a nice transitory period between the strap and the main pack here, and that kind of hugs your shoulder or your side depending on how you are wearing it. On the bottom here, you can see that there is a little button on the bottom of the strap, so you can undo it and switch which side it is connected to. So it is ambidextrous. So if you prefer to wear the sling on your left or right side, you can do that really quickly and easily, or if just one of your shoulders gets tired, you can switch it if you want to. And we do have a strap keeper here to keep the strap out of your way. I have got quite a bit of extra fabric here right now, and it's nice to be able to get that out of the way. And then onto the back panel, as you can see, there's no aeration. There is a little bit of padding in there, so it does add a bit of comfort, but overall pretty basic on the back panel, and doesn't really feel uncomfortable, but there's not much going on there. So I have it in front mode right now, and this is how it's more comfortable for me because I have a bad shoulder. And something that's important to note, I think, is right now, because of how I'm wearing it, the zipper is on the opposite side, so I can't access that main compartment. And something else that I think is important to note is that, see, if you look right now, the logo is the right way up. And if I just wanted to quickly transition from front mode into back mode, the logo is now upside down on my back. So you can combat that pretty easily by just taking it off and replacing it onto your back. But if you just go from one to the other like I like to do while I'm cycling, it can look a little silly because the logo will be upside down. But as you can see from the side profile, I have quite a bit stowed inside here right now, and I'm not really missing the lack of ample padding or aeration. It's very comfortable, but for someone who likes to wear slings like this, not having access to the main compartment is kind of a bummer. But if you don't have a bad shoulder and you can just wear it the other way, you do have that access with the side zipper on this side. So as I'm sure you've been able to see, there are 4 exterior pockets on this pack. So this overall, there isn't a ton of internal organization in any of the pockets on this pack, but it's almost like there's exterior organization with these 4 small pockets. So these are all very basic, as I said, no internal organization, but they all kind of serve different purposes. So I'll start with this pocket here. This one has a keyring in it, and it comes really far outside of the bag, which I like because you can open your door or use your key fob or whatever you need to do without taking the keys off, and then you can just slide it back in there. And also the way that I wear it across my body, if I just open that, Now it's not going to do it when I show you, but when I get off my bike, typically I just undo that zipper and the keys fly out, and then I don't even really have to grab them because you can't actually access that zipper very easily because it is upside down. So when I'm wearing it this way, as you can see, the zipper is face down from me. But nice size pocket. I didn't typically put anything in there other than my keys though, just because I didn't want my keys to scratch anything up. So on the other side, we have a exact same pocket, but there's no key ring. I just have my wallet in there right now. That's probably the easiest pocket for me to access when I wear it, how I like to wear it this way. So depending how you wear it, you'll have a different pocket that is easiest for you to access. But again, just a nice simple pocket where you're, nothing going on, but it stows gear nicely. No padding out here though, so I wouldn't put anything that you're worried about getting smashed up. And then we have a pocket here on the bottom with the Timbuk2 logo on it. And I just have a charging cable in here right now that's in its case. But this is a nice wide pocket. If you had like a battery bank or something you wanted to stow here, it would fit well. Not super tall. I mean, you can see it goes all the way down to the bottom here, but just kind of like a nice little small dump pocket that you can put smaller items in on the bottom of the pack. And then a similarly sized pocket on the top here. But this one is actually crafted from a really soft material, so that's why I have my phone and my sunglasses in there right now. As you can see, just a nice soft material so nothing gets scratched up. I've been seeing that more and more on packs, like people obviously don't want their stuff to get scratched, so it's nice to see that inclusion. I don't know why I closed that so quickly. It's a pretty amply sized pocket. You can see, my hand fit in there. Pretty good sized pocket, so your phone will fit in there. If you have a plus sized phone with a big case, you might struggle to fit it in there, but if you have a standard phone like this is an iPhone 11 with just a regular case, and it has room to spare on the sides, but not on the top. So overall, happy with the organization on these exterior pockets. Like I said, there isn't internal organization inside the pockets, but when you see that there's 4 pockets that all have pretty ample space, it's nice to be able to organize your items throughout. And the addition of the key ring and the padded or soft pocket, I should say, are nice additions for stowing specific gear. So hopping into the main compartment here, we have this zipper across the side. And this doesn't open super wide. I mean, you have a pretty wide opening here, but this pocket is better tailored for flatter items. So in just the main area here right now, I have this Soundcore speaker, and that's about as wide of items as I prefer to put in there. Otherwise, it just kind of got or felt awkward. I mean, you probably could fit things that are wider than this in there, but this is about the width of how I felt comfortable, like of things sitting inside the main compartment. As you can see the bottom there, it's not super thick, and obviously you get a little bit of push above that because of the fabric, and it goes out and you can fit more oblong-shaped items. But that's about as wide as I prefer to go with my items. The only organization we have inside this pocket is this little divider here on the back panel. And right now I just have, typically I'd have my Nintendo Switch, but I wanted to leave my Switch at home today, so I just brought in the case so you can see that it fits a Nintendo Switch inside of a case. And this actually has room to spare. You can see it moves around a little bit left to right, so if you have the OLED model or something larger, a little bit larger than a Switch, it will fit in there as well. But that's secured by just this hook and loop fastener here. And there is a little bit of padding on this divider, but it's not super like ample padding. It's very, very thin. So depending on what you have in there, you still might want to put a case on it, or just be careful with how you move around using the pack if you have something fragile in there. And you can feel the padding on the back panel as well. It's probably a little more ample than the divider is, but again, if you just threw an oblong-shaped item in here with nothing in the back panel, you're going to feel it on your back, and it's not going to be super comfortable. So, like, even if you were to just throw like an apple in there and then like a jacket or something, you're probably going to feel that apple pushing on your back or your front or wherever you are sitting, or wherever it's sitting at the time. But if you put flat items in there, like obviously this Nintendo Switch case is fairly flat, so you might feel that on your back, but it's just like a flat item with like a little bit of padding on it, so it's not that big of a deal. But other than that, there really isn't anything going on in here. We do have this little tab on the other side that I dig. It says keeping junk out of the dump since 1989. So I think that's a cool little logo, and it adds a little bit of contrast in there because this is all just this gray liner material, and it's got that nice green font. And there is a little bit of a loose thread there, but that could be from me throwing stuff in and out of the sling. But just a nice little because obviously they're using good materials here and recycled materials here. So just a nice little reminder when you're using this thing that it's going to last, because as you can see from the exterior, it really has lasted. I mean, I've been beating this thing up for 2 weeks now and no real issues to report. So there you have it, the Timbuk2 Vapor Sling Crossbody Bag. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.